Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the good old fast sub rogue. Obviously, I know you guys enjoy watching the good old fast sub rogue. I haven't really done much solo shuffle, but I ended up just queuing two solo shuffles at around like 5 a.m. And honestly, I have a really bad habit on my sub of like forgetting that I am like a rogue. Like no matter how much damage as a rogue, you have to do as much CC as possible to win games. That's how it's always been. And there's also one other thing. You need to be swapping on the Wrestle Druid a lot. Like if the Wrestle Druid is in the open, now it's really hard to kind of communicate with your teammates. Like if they're good, they'll swap with you. But the only way you beat a Wrestle Druid usually is by going the Wrestle Druid or CCing him enough to where you can just, damp them out and they just can't heal no longer. But there is one downfall to this. This hunter, honestly, I don't even. He might have turtled like once or twice out of this entire solo shuffle. So, everyone else actually played very well. Honestly, everyone had pretty good plays in this game. But overall, I think the hunter was like the lowest one out of all of us because he ended up just not turtling on like anybody's team. And this would have been a 6-0 had he turtled. But here I sap him. The shaman can either purge or honestly at this point I'd rather just him just 1v1 because you can never go mage. As a sub rogue, you don't go mage ever, and there's a reason for that. So here I'm just gonna cheap shot. I'm gonna swap to the druid. We get boom. We get trinket trank. That's what I'm saying. Swapping to the we actually end up getting turtle right here, so that's nice. So pretty much on every CD we get the Druid trinkets. He honestly didn't have to. You never cheap shot. Rogue will not kill a Druid in a cheap shot 100-0. This guy ends up cycloning my kidney, so that's great. But, it's whatever. So, as you can see, we've gotten everything in the first 15 seconds of the game. We got Druid's trinket, Mage trinket, Hunter trinket, Turtle. We literally got everything. And this is like a problem with solo shuffle. It's overusing cooldowns and it's a really bad thing. So my guy gets CC'd, so I'm gonna instantly trinket vanish because if I don't, then he's gonna have to trinket a 2 second stun. Here we swap Druid again. You would think we would almost kill him here, but he ends up just surviving. Very unfortunate. I don't think the shaman was helping me. That's probably why. This is like the perfect example of swapping on Druid is only good if your other teammates do it too. Otherwise, you just need to hit whatever they're hitting. But yeah, I would never go mage. Uh, you're not gonna be able to hit the mage at all. Every time you stun him, he's gonna blink every 6 seconds. So again, there's really no point. And you can also just blind without having to, cheat blind sap. You don't have to do that every time. Now, usually, yes, you do want to, but you want to usually get your blind out in the first 10 or 15 seconds of the game. So here again, we swap to the druid, we get his trinket again. So these swaps is what wins us the game, because that allows us to get his trinket. For getting a druid's trinket is probably the best thing that you can get because they don't have anything else. They literally can't do anything. So here I end up almost dying. I got very lucky there. And the mage is actually doing pretty decent damage. Well, that's kind of what happens when I shadowy dome. I barely kill him. I don't even have shadow dance up right now. So literally I get a lucky eviscerate crit. And we end up taking him out. So I didn't even have my shadow dance. I was literally just shadowy double. And we barely got him. Barely. Just by like a couple percent of an eviscerate. And that's definitely they should definitely not lose there at any rate. LA Shaman should definitely not be Arcane BM with the amount of damage they have, but we end up taking them out. Again, here, you never go mage. As a sub rogue, it's not gonna happen. Now, if it was a Frost or something else, or if, like, it is very rare. Now, hunters counter mages, so the hunter can go mage, so the mage can still die. It doesn't mean he can't die, but here I end up getting found out. I don't trigger the stun. I end up step, and then I bomb it. Let's see. I think I bomb it low here. Yep, bomb it. And I'm going to shadowy duel. And this way we get bubble or we get underground. And then off this, we're just going to blind the healer and keep pumping. So blind. Do we get trinket here? I don't think so, actually. That could have been a bad blind because he pre-iron broke it. I DR cheap shot. And I cheap shot the mage. We get his block. So there we get... Okay, it was an okay. The Dirt actually played very well by tranking there. We get a full trap here. I kidney. So we get a really good setup here. Fortunately, we didn't get anything off the trap, so there's that. I have Kenny or we swapped to the mage. You're basically just swapping every target. You'll never sit on one target. This was actually a really hard matchup. Honestly, again, not having Shadow Dances up, you're forced to kind of waste your vanishes on literally the most dumb things. Like right there, I literally vanished and I still don't have a Shadow Dance up. So here I kidney. I just get enough for my thing here. Oh nice, we get Trinket from the Druid because of the trap. And pretty much at this point we just DR Gouge just to get the extra CZ. It probably wasn't even worth it to be honest. Mainly because, it just wasn't worth. So here I'm kind of lining. I know my guy's kicked, so he can't heal me right now. I'm kind of lining my healer, but, you know, that's just how it is. I don't know why. Mm, I mean, it's not terrible positioning, I guess. I kidney here. The Druid's all the way over there, so there's nothing. I don't have a step either, so no matter what, I'm not going to be able to get to him. And by the way, a lot of these times in the late games, you're basically blading to get your Shadow in. So here we swap Druid. Unfortunately, the Hunter doesn't kick the lasso, so I can't restun, and pretty much I sit a full lasso, very unfortunate. And now I had to vanish to reset, so again, that's like the one problem with Sub Rogue that I hate. I end up smoke bombing him. Honestly, it was a bad smoke bomb, mainly because it's a frost or it's a mage. You're never going to be able to CC a mage. It's not possible, like especially stunning wise. So here he incaps, and then I shadowy duel. He already trapped, so he runs into the trap. So here in a second, he runs to a DR trap. And this is kind of looking bad. I think we lose here because he doesn't turtle. But, I mean, we were kind of out of losses anyway, to be honest. So here he just gets 60-0'd, and I was like, alright, whatever. So he doesn't turdy ill, and we get taken out. So that's how it is. Had the hunter just save kick for clones and lasso only, or maybe even sheep or ring, it would have been a lot better. But since I sat every single lasso full, every single time, it was a very they basically as a rogue, if you don't do stuff in a fast enough pace, even if you do, it's very easy to preemptively CC a rogue on their go. The moment somebody gets CC'd, it means they're going every time. So usually I'll get scattershotted, or I'll get lassoed, or I'll get stunned or disarmed. A lot of people run weak auras that they get told when I'm shadow dancing, and then they disarm me on my shadow dance. I swear I had this warrior do it 90% of the time, every shadow dance, and I just was so annoyed. It was the most annoying thing in life. So here I'm gonna kidney here, or I know I gouge, and I could blind, but there's no point. So here I shadowy duel to get trinket. So again, we get trinket from the shaman, we get trinket from the hunter, and pretty much that's all we got so far. And we got trinket from the druid. So right there, we just have all three. So we just need one more clean setup with a cheap blind sap, and then a stun on the hunter or shaman, and we pretty much win the game. We'll see what happens though. I think we end up killing the hunter here. So I cloak, I kidney. See, this is where I should have kind of ran back and gone for the blind, but at this point I think he sheeps. No, he DR clones. Or no, he clones full. I cheap shot, never mind, he turtles. And I think we end up almost killing this guy. No, we don't, because we get wall. So a very good setup. The problem is obviously it's just I couldn't get the stun on the hunter before he turtled, but he ends up getting out of his turtle, and he just gets at this point, all we need is again just a solid setup. Even if I don't blind, my druid's just gonna cyclone. So here I stun, and then I can just blind off the stun. He could have turtled, by the way. I spaced the stun here. So as you can see, or no, never mind, he didn't have turtle there. I forgot he turtled and then canceled his own turtle, I'm pretty sure. So I think here I said he didn't turtle, but he actually did turtle. But here I say, make sure you turtle. Because for some reason, when they're on my team, they all of a sudden forget how to play. But then when they're on the other team, they actually know what to click. And this has happened a lot. Which I guess it happens sometimes, but I think this happens again. I think it's two more games that he just doesn't click turtle. I think we win this game here though, which we should never win this. Or honestly, it's kind of winnable. I don't know why he does that. I don't know if there's like a out like I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know why he does that. Like he uses that bloodlust at the very start, but here we swap. If he just pumps the druid right now, yeah, perfect. So we get trinket instantly. I get lasso DR'd. We're gonna swap to the shaman. So I kill the totem here. Here I'm just getting full ruptures. I DR. See, that's the problem right there. is using my Shadow Dance on a DR cheap shot. That's how I gotta stop doing that. Because I need to save every Shadow Dance for, like, I just need to farm combo points and not use my Shadow Dances unless it's a full long go. Because it's just like, you're just not able to waste any Shadow Dances anymore. You have to play the Shadow Dance perfectly. So here, a Shadowy Duel, I get Trinket and Wall. So again, very good CDs. So we got all three Trinkets. We got Wall. All he has left is Underground. I hear I end up gouging. Gouging gets pretty garbage there because if my Hunter just traps him, it's full. So bad gouge on my part, but honestly, I don't even think he was going to CC him anyway. But because he's over by me, but let's see what happens here. I think he stun traps here. Okay, so he stuns. Hopefully he doesn't trap yet. Oh, okay, so he does trap. That's unlucky. But I think we end up killing him. Oh my lord, me and the hunter. He kill commands into a fat eviscerate. So he just gets him from 100 to 30, and then I get the eviscerate to take him out. And thankfully, the druid, even if it was a DR trap, we probably should have waited like a second later, and then we would have definitely just out. They would have been fine. But yeah, definitely bad gouge on my part. So here in this situation, we're gonna go hunter and we're gonna go druid. You're never going mage. Now there's situations where you can run over the mage and maybe do a mini go on him, but with blinks, you're just not able to catch him, and you're just gonna be running around and not doing anything the entire game if you're sitting after a mage, because mages are uncatchable versus melee, unless it's like a DK or something. So here I sap him, he can either purge or do what he wants, or he can just 1v1 him. Here I don't open, so here we get an insane sap. This is where the sap macro comes in handy. This guy ends up coming out of stealth and he doesn't end up hotting him, so he's not in combat. So here I just get a free sap out of tree form. I cheap shot, we're gonna swap to the hunter here. I think I don't shrink it. I kidney into a cheap shot, maybe a bomb. Yep, bomb. He pet sacks. Here I could blind here. Let's see if I blind. Nope, he just dies without clicking a single ability. Me and the Ellie. Actually, the Ellie's pumping with me. So through PetSec, the Ellie pops his CDs, I pop my CDs, and both of our CDs combined, this guy thought PetSec was gonna, it's just not gonna happen. So if the hunter had Haunts or he just Trinket, Feigned or something, he would have been fine, but we take the good old fashioned Weon. People get too, they get too, trigger happy with holding CDs, because PetSec, even if you cancel out all my crit and all the Shaman's crit, we have so much extra damage from non-crit, even though it's not that much damage. If we're putting both of our instant damage together, because obviously Shaman you don't have to cast, so there's no point of pet sacking that. Especially you just have to. It's like rogue mage. It's like he's busting. I'm using my blades. You can't hold there, but he ends up getting taken out. So here I trinket. It's kind of a bad trinket, but we have to I need to keep the go going, whether or not it's bad. It's whatever. Now here I kidney off this, we swap to the hunter here, we get this instantly trinket. So here, and then I think I shadowy duel, perfect. I cloak too, so we get everything in the opener except the druid's trinket. Here I gouge the druid because obviously he's not going to be able to ring, he's in tree form. Unless he goes for like a DB, we have to go through ground. I end up getting 120 here in like 2 globals. So he ends up actually, the hunter just automatically just starts doing 100k DBS. Here I kidney, let's see if he sheeps. No, it's DR. There's no point in sheeping. Actually, he does DR sheep anyway. We get trinket from a DR sheep. That's crazy that we got. So for a 2 or 3 second sheep that we had no damage on, he actually trinkets that, which is like the worst mistake he just did. Because we had no damage. I didn't even have no blades up. I have no CDs. I'm out. So here I'm kind of just waiting behind. And this was an annoying part, not having a shadow step. So here I kind of just had to wait. And I have to step to the druid or else I'm not going to have a chance. So here, I don't know how that kidney was DR'd, not gonna lie. I thought it looked like it was done, but maybe I'm just, questionable. So here I gouge, because, like, again, my mage is not going to be able to sheep unless I wait for the DR. I could have probably just waited for the DR, then maybe he could have ringed, but with 2 DBSs on him, he's just going to get kicked. So here I run, I'm LOSing my healer for a second. I'm surprised his thing didn't work. I think it didn't work because he tried putting me through the pillar, that's why. Had he like just done it not against the pillar, it would have worked. But here I cheap, let's see if he sheeps. He tries to go for it, but now he just bear swarms. See, as you can see, I'm kind of just running, and I think I cloaked just to be able to I'm literally just chasing after him, trying to do a stun. So here I stun, I blind the druid off the sheep, possibly. Yep, blind. We swap to the hunter real quick. And it's looking really bad here, because like we got a lot of CDs, but we're running out of CDs. I mean, I have no I have blades in 20 seconds. I have no vanishes. I have evasion. That's it. So here I'm getting my combo points. The goal is to Kenny the Druid and go Ellie because the Hunter has Trinket. So here my mage is pumping. I Kenny and then we win the game off this. So here I Shadowy Dole late and he gets taken out. And my mage has this extra big dam. So boom, it hits him hard and GG's. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.